eating Vada Pav because people claim that it has protein.
Oh, a lot of reels have been doing the rounds, haven't they?
I want your take on that.
No, Vada Pav is just a very carbon fat heavy snack. If you want to be delusional and take that, go ahead. मैंने बिल्कुल बिना तेल का समोसा खाया. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, उसको पानी में भिगो दिया, तेल निकल आया.
There used to be a lot of patients, heart patients, who used to drink wine.
It isn't.
It's toxic.
This entire study was funded by the wineries board.
Okay. They start looking thin, but they look very ill thin.
Yeah, because they're losing a lot of muscle.
Heard about Ozempic, Mounjaro, salines that people take. What is your take as a nutritionist?
True nutrition is not complicated at all. Me living for 99 years, out of which 20 years were bedridden, is of no use.
Biggest wellness scam right now. Possibly, this is one of my favorite topics to explore. If you know me and if my team can justify, I'm going to put some clips of my team members talking about how I boast about a lot of nutrition facts, and then because I'm number 3 also, which Digvijay constantly tells me that they keep boasting about a lot of education and nutrition and things, what they learn from outside, and they talk about it. So it's a thing in our office, and it's a thing that I personally am really passionate about. I started my journey like 2 years ago, where I started working out regularly, eating well, and I realized that that's the most important gift that you can give to your body. And it's your body is the temple. You don't need anything else apart from keeping it fit. And I've had my failure lessons. I've had ups and downs, a lot of trends that I followed, and they just backfired on me. And then eventually in this journey, I met somebody who I'm deeply inspired by, because she's upfront honest about nutrition, upfront honest about how food is the number one thing that you can look at in terms of this. And she's incredible with her work. I have her book with me at the moment. Her name is Amita Gadre ji, and I'm deeply fascinated by her. Like, I met her 2 months ago, and the amount of work she's done in this field is incredible. And today we are going to delve into the trends, the facts, and everything that she's worked on, and everything that just fascinated me and blew my mind away by reading this book. So I am so happy to welcome Amita Gadre ji on Unfiltered Conversation today.
Thank you, Devyani.
It's an honor to have you over here, and we do like very few podcasts, and you are amazing with the work you've done so far. And it's a learning process for us, that whatever we'll delve into, I want you to be very honest, because this is Unfiltered Conversations, and I love what you do with everything around food and nutrition. So that's something I'm inspired by, and I hope the viewers will also love it. Anything you'd like to start off with?
I'm actually very happy that you said that, like upfront you stated that I'm very honest about things, and the fact that you have also been shared so openly about your own journey with nutrition and everything. And it's so true. Oftentimes we find people trying to, say just be on the treadmill for 2 hours, or just working out morning, evening, or taking like a new supplement or whatever, new gimmick or what's trending. But it all comes down to the basics, which is your nutrition. Your nutrition does play a massive role in how you're feeling in your body, or how you are being at work or at home, or with the people that you love, and so forth. So thank you for stating that up front and like starting
so I want to know about, before being the Amita that everybody knows now, why did you start with nutrition when it was a myth? Because when you started, I don't think so anybody even paid for consultation for nutrition. I don't think so.
No.
That was a thing. Everyone was like, घरचं खावा, बाहेरचं जास्त खाऊ नका. That's what you have to do. And it wasn't so, like a very easy thing for people to go and opt for. तुला काहीतरी त्रास आहे का म्हणून तू चाललाय का त्यांच्याकडे, असं सगळं बोलायचे. So tell me about you as Amita, who started so long ago.
So there's a bit of a backstory to this. So before I took up nutrition, around the time when I was about 14 years of age, I used to be an overweight child. Okay, and right after puberty is when I had gained even more weight, and everyone around me at that point in time was telling me that you need to lose weight, you gain too much and everything. Out of that, I must have read somewhere in some magazine that time, like Feminine, Vogue and everything were pretty much the thing that we young girls used to read. And in that, I read the word diet. Okay. And so I figured that what they are doing is they are not eating. Okay. So this 14-year-old Amita, who was now in grade 9, so I had board next year, I used to take my dabba to school and not eat it. So when I stopped eating, I realized that in a month's time, I lost weight. What also started happening was it started getting reinforced by everyone around me, because every person who was meeting me, and these are all adult relatives who were meeting me, they would tell me that, oh, you're looking good, you lost so much weight, oh wow, you're looking fairer. Okay. And then there came a point after probably say 6-7 months that I suddenly started getting a fever, unexplained fever. Okay. We went to a doctor. The doctor, our family doctor had anyway seen me growing up. So he knew how I had grown up. And then suddenly he's looking at me as this very skinny girl. So he told me to check my hemoglobin. Okay. Checked my hemoglobin, found that I was severely anemic. So my iron levels, like hemoglobin levels at that point in time were 7 gram per DL, which is severe anemia. Okay. Now, and then he immediately started me on a tablet, iron supplement. That is when, and then he brought my parents in and said, like, your daughter is not eating. He's like, no, she's eating. She's taking a dabba. And that's when unfortunately, the world had to know that I stopped eating. But that made me realize, and somewhere I also understood that your food is playing a big role in how you are presented to the world, how the world perceives you, and also what you're able to do. So as a result, what had also happened was that when I was trying to lose weight, or by default I lost weight because I wasn't eating, literally starving myself, my hemoglobin levels dropped so low, I also started doing very badly in my exams.
Yeah, because
my cognitive scores fell, right? Now, no one is going to link these two together, because who thinks of, say, your IQ when you're speaking of iron deficiency anemia? But that is the biggest impact that it has. And that's when it set the foundation where I wanted to understand more about food and nutrition. And that is what set the foundation for my interest in nutrition per se. Also, the fact that I liked food and come from a foodie family also helped. And I also come from a family which has a lot of doctors. So obviously the standard expectation of everyone at home was that I'll become a doctor, which I didn't want to do. So I took up clinical nutrition then.
Amazing. Because everything starts internally, like whatever you want to do. And if it's driven internally, then only you can sort of thrive and survive the changing times, right? So when you started off, you did your education, everything that is required. But for setting that tone, what were the first few cases that you got that are still in your mind? Any funny ones, or any ones that shocked you? Anything that just kind of gave you a mirror into how the world is leading in this space?
So there was this one very funny case, which she was a client, Punjabi client, and she comes to me and says, like, I'll eat whatever you tell me to. So I'm like, okay, you're diabetic, your cholesterol is through the roof, everything. So I give her a diet plan. I asked her, what did you eat? So she said that मैंने बिल्कुल बिना तेल का समोसा खाया. And I'm like, how is that possible? How did you eat a बिना तेल का समोसा? अरे नहीं, हम तो बिल्कुल तेल निकाल देते हैं. कैसे तेल निकाल देते हो? उसको पानी में भिगो दिया, तेल निकल आया. So she was eating a bigoya hua samosa, water soaked samosa every day. And then I was like, no, that's not how it works, you know. So then I had to explain her. But the point being that that made me understand and realize that what I, as a nutritionist, was assuming as just a common understanding that you have a samosa, it's been deep fried, it's something which is going to have a lot of oil. But a common person might be thinking of it as, I dabbed it with a tissue so the oil is gone, or I soaked it in water so the oil is gone. So that was like super interesting. Another person who'd come to me, he had said that, okay, you give me a diet plan, fine. I've come here only because my wife has brought me here, fair. And he looks at it and he's like, okay. So the next, at follow up, when his wife was also there. So they said, like, I asked him, what is he eating? So he think, no, he's eating whatever you told him every day. They're like, okay. And then I asked him, is it enough? He's like, yeah, I eat what you have told me to eat. And then I also ask for my normal khana, you know.
Oh.
So he's like eating, Amita diya hua diet plan. And then he's like, now bring on the parathas. I've eaten what the diet is. So the
interpretations and combinations of
exactly. So all of those early patients and those cases, there was one child that I'd worked with who was autistic, and so she also taught me a lot about how the autism range is, like the spectrum is, and what are the challenges. That also made me realize that how important it is for us to learn nutrition as parents.
Correct.
Because we are literally molding our child's future by knowing or not knowing the nutrition aspects of it. So there were like a whole lot of cases that way. I could go on through the day, but these are the ones which come like straight up top. But one very interesting case that I want to tell you about was, so I had a patient who had chronic acidity. For 22 years, he used to throw up. Like, you know, every morning he would wake up and he would have to throw up because of that much acidity. And then later when he worked with me, and he was like on antacids, like 8 antacids through the day.
That's bad.
Yeah, so very stressful business owner. And when he worked with me, so I had to tell him that, you know, now you're going to eat this and then you are not going to need those antacids, but we will taper them off. But the dependence and the fear, you know, that there was tremendous resistance, and I learned perseverance on the job with him, wherein I had to be like, no, it's okay, let's drop one at a time. So he worked with me for 6 months, and at the end of 6 months, he was completely acidity free, even like till date, we are good friends now. And after like say 10-15 years, he still not had to touch any antacid. But that's the power of food, where you can change a person's health, you know, to such an extent.
I think power of food and your mind that is in control of, you know, that sync in between. One thing was popping when you just told me about the samosa story. What is your take on eating vada pav? Because people claim that it has protein.
Oh, a lot of reels have been doing the rounds, haven't they?
I want your take on that.
Yeah, so I mean, for that matter, even say a pizza would have protein, no?
Oh, so should I like...
Yeah, I mean, everything is going to have at least 0.5 grams of protein somewhere. So if you want to be delusional and take that, go ahead. But no, vada pav is just a very carb and fat heavy snack, which you can... Okay.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy it occasionally. When I say occasionally, not once a week is not occasionally. So maybe you've gone to Karzat and you want to have that Diwadkars or whatever vada pav, then go ahead. But don't be like stopping by.
Protein, everything has protein.
Yeah, abhi, like, no, abhi mera bread slice may be protein. Hai. Not that way.
Amazing. Now let's move on to this interesting factor about celebrities and nutrition. Very interesting that we all get fascinated of, that we want to look like them, we want to be like them, we want to glow like them, we want to become fair like them, you know, like what I mean by...
I want to have money like them.
Yeah, same. So, you've heard about, you know, OMED. Then you can put up, Digvijay, some reels and pictures of what I mean by that. So you've heard about OMED, you've heard about Ozempic, Mounjaro, then lots of other things, you know, those the salines that people take. of
Infusions.
different infusions and all of that. What is your take as a nutritionist? Because they're expensive and it needs to be monitored by experts to be doing that. Celebrities, because they have a profession that asks them to be in front of camera, maybe they are having those choices. Maybe there's some possibilities that that's something that's working for them. But for a person like you and me who have to go out, work daily, go back home, look after a family and all of that, how can we keep ourselves away or maybe utilize them in a good way? You know, I would want to keep this question very open.
So, first of all, we need to understand that whatever celebrities are doing, they are getting paid to look a certain way. Okay, that is their job. For us, people, you're going to a corporate office, you're going to be working through the day, and then you have to come back, do your kids' homework, manage next day ka khana, you know, all of it.
A lot of things.
You are not getting paid to look a certain way. You are getting paid for something else, which is probably your job as an engineer or as a, say, IT person, something. So, I think it helps to understand this difference. Okay. Secondly, it's always very different. Like it helps to also keep in mind that celebrities have a full team of people behind them. Okay, they are not trying to do or doing rather all of this on their own. Okay, so tomorrow, if I had a team of 7 people, one is handing me my electrolyte, the other is feeding me, you know, like say
That's
my
a
personal
dream.
chef who is like doing everything the way I want, all my macros are sorted. I have a trainer who's like right behind me, like on my set, getting it done. No, my workout is a priority. You know, I mean, who wouldn't like that? But that is not our reality.
That's true.
So, which means that whatever, I know. I mean, I would love that too, but well, that's not how it works, unfortunately. We have to wake up in the morning and do our 9 to 5. So, when you don't have all of these people in your life, then it becomes imperative to look at things through the prism of realism a little. So, for people, I would always like to tell them that it's called Maya for a reason, right? So that world or the celebrity world, it's a big world of make-believe. You will find very, very few people, like you can literally count them on the fingers of one hand, who are actually really doing what they claim to be doing. You know, for example, you see very few celebrities actually doing like the workouts or who are truly fit in a way that they can go and do a high rocks tomorrow. Okay, now those guys, they are not going to even be promoting or telling you about these so-called fancy stuff. That, oh, I went here and then I did an elimination diet and you know what, they told me not to work out at all. Those people are not going to tell you that. The ones who are truly putting in the work are going to tell you, dude, this is how I eat, this is my simple food. I eat 2 times in a day, but that 2 times is this plate full of things.
Correct.
So we need to always remember that for anyone, first of all, no one starts looking a certain way in one night.
No, it's not possible.
There is no magic pill. Even Ozempic, which is a clinical drug approved for diabetes, and Mounjaro, which is a clinical drug approved for morbid obesity, both of these, they don't make you look a certain way in one night or in 1 week. That also takes time, a fair bit of time. Okay, so and even your 1 meal a day, even if I was to start eating just once a day, which is, in my personal opinion, it is a very, very restrictive diet and it can cause you a lot of trouble. Some of which can include things like hypoglycemia or you losing your period or your hair starts falling and everything. Okay, so it's not something that I would recommend for anyone. Okay, 1 meal a day, that is your OMAD. But when someone is coming on camera and saying that, oh, I lost weight with OMAD, they are 100% not telling you the true story. They are always doing something else along with it. But to make it sound cool, they are going to tell you just a 1-word thing so that it seems say, oh wow, like a brainwave.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's never a great idea to blindly copy. And I would go to the extent of saying that, so Virat Kohli, I think a couple of years ago, he had mentioned that now I'm at 8% body fat and I've
Correct.
never been more fit.
Yeah.
Now, we need to understand that when Virat Kohli is at 8% body fat, look at what he's eating or not eating.
Correct.
So you can't be wanting to eat chole bhature and be like, no, I want to drop my body fat. वो नहीं हो सकता, boss.
Yeah.
So, realism.
Yeah. No, because while you were giving me these examples, and also sort of going and looking back at my journey, it took me 2 to 3 years to feel the muscle or feel like, okay, I am sort of progressing. It doesn't happen in even like 6 months.
Never.
Forget
never.
about a month.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like that body transformation happens in that, and you start putting on muscle weight.
Yeah.
You don't lose weight.
No.
If you're losing, it's sort of like muscle loss.
Yes.
That usually happens with this OMED or, you know, like Ozempic or Mounjaro. They start looking thin, but they look very ill thin.
Yeah, because they're losing a lot of muscle.
Yeah, and that's not sexy.
So 20%, 20 to 40% muscle loss is what happens on Mounjaro, and I'm just waiting for the next 5 years when the real data starts coming out, because most people are approaching Ozempic or all the entire GLP-1s, like even if it is a generics or the other peptides that people are taking. People are approaching it as this magic thing that you're going to take it and then voila, I'm going to change. Without realizing that it is going to cost you your muscle. And muscle is, I think, the most misunderstood organ that we have in our body.
Yeah.
Okay, so muscle forms the basis of everything that we have. So your heart is a muscle, your lungs are a muscle, everything is muscle. So when we say that if you don't do X things, you are going to lose this percentage
Correct.
of muscle mass, I don't mean just from my biceps, I mean
It's
from
everywhere.
across the board.
Exactly.
And your body is not going to discriminate. So suddenly, if you are dropping 10, 15 kg in say a month's time, you are going to fit into probably a size 26 jeans,
Correct.
but you will not be able to climb up one single flight of stairs without
Exactly.
huffing and
Yeah.
puffing.
Yeah.
That is terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So even from weight point of view, I hate the weighing scale.
Exactly.
It tells you nothing
about
your health.
Yeah.
It tells you nothing where you are. All that it does is puts a number on you.
Exactly.
So someone who has say a body fat percentage of say 8% and has a decent muscle mass of say 50-60%,
It's also good.
they could be weighing 100 kg.
Yeah, exactly.
But that doesn't make them unhealthy.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them overweight.
Yeah.
But on the weighing scale, they could be like, oh, your weight is 100 kg.
Yeah.
So a better metric is checking your waist circumference, is checking your waist to height ratio,
Correct.
is checking your waist to hip ratio. These three are far superior metrics also from your longevity point of view. Because everything, right now, Devyani, is geared towards you living longer.
Exactly.
But people forget that it's not about your lifespan.
Yeah.
It's about how you lived that life.
Exactly.
Me living for 99 years, out of which 20 years were bedridden, is of no use.
Exactly.
I need to look at my quality of life. Whether I'm able to lift my luggage, whether I'm able to go on a Europe trip without having to think twice.
Yeah.
I work with so many senior citizens who come to me and say like, okay, no, next year I want to go to Europe. Right now, my doctor said that my knees are short, but I want to strengthen them
Correct.
again. So it's very important to understand the difference between health and skinny. Skinny is not healthy.
Exactly. So here, I'd like to put out a few examples that if you want to look at really the good celebrities in this, I really admire J-Lo or I really admire Shakira for the way they have built their muscle.
Yeah.
They are in their 40s, but they look 30s or like
absolutely.
25, and constantly whenever we go through their interviews, they say muscle is something that even women have to look at. There's a myth that, okay, if you start looking bulky or you start going and doing strength training, you're going to become a man. So I feel that these are amazing examples of how muscle is the only thing that's going to help you in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, where you don't want to be dependent on anybody.
Or even after that. Look at Meryl Streep.
Exactly.
Like she's
stunning.
lifting weights.
Did you see the muscles during the premiere?
Yeah.
They were
amazing.
incredible.
Like, those shoulders, those arms.
I mean, like I was just like, wow,
amazing.
That lady. Yeah. And then, like you said, while traveling, I remember last year when I was on a trip to Davos, and the trains over there are very tough, and we had to carry the luggage for an entire month. So that was like 30-40 kgs of bag each. And because I was working out, I remember that I could lift that bag and put it into, the train. And that's where I understood the meaning of, true nutrition and fitness. It's not for showing off your body in dresses. It's not for anything which is very outwardish. It's very internal, where, you can do your own things without any support, and you can feel okay even after doing it. You're not exhausted. You're walking, you're enjoying. Next day you're waking up fresh in spite lifting so much of luggage. And that was the true meaning for fitness and nutrition for me. And I think you've elaborated that so beautifully about it.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that people don't understand. Everyone looks at the gym or lifting weights or dieting per se.
Exactly.
I hate the word, but dieting as a very aesthetic thing, but it actually is something which is very functional.
Correct.
So not having to say you're sitting on the floor. First of all, being able to sit on the floor by itself for some reason has become such a big deal now. But not having to say take a support and get up and getting off the floor, or being able to carry your bags of groceries and not having to be like bhaiya help karo.
Correct.
That is fitness. That is why I go to the gym.
Correct.
And the other aspect is that your mental health also improves significantly. I say this all the time on all platforms, that the reason I hit the gym every day is so that I spend my day in a sane mode, because that is the one anchor which keeps my mental health in check. I love starting my day with that burst of endorphins where I'm like, okay, deadlift done. Today I lifted more. Oh, full stack done. I mean, how powerful is that?
Exactly.
Right?
You start getting addicted to the good things.
Exactly. And not having to be like, okay, now I have too much stuff. How will I lift band hai, main upar kaise jaungi?
That's true. And I think gym, or if you look at working out, is the most equal platform to be on, or equal place to be on, because the more you give, the more it gives you back.
Absolutely.
And the more you don't give, the more you go backward in your journey.
You do.
Like you just have to again start from zero, or again from some certain amount of weight to go back to your journey. So it's like you have to consistently put on effort, and that's how it rewards you. That's something which I really like.
Yeah, and the fun thing is that there is no equalizer like the gym, like you rightly said. And secondly, I personally feel, I'm of this very strong opinion that women need to be in the gym more than men.
Yeah, that's true.
Because come 35, 40, our muscle mass starts abandoning us like it's a sinking ship. Our bone mass starts being like, dude, I'm going. And if you want to hold on to that bone mass and muscle mass, because our bone and muscle mass starts decelerating, like, it starts decreasing big time, like way faster than any man is going to lose it. So which means we should be putting in that much more effort to preserve it.
Absolutely.
And there are only two ways of going about it: lifting weights and eating right.
Exactly.
Because I mean, just lifting weights is not going to give you the muscle.
You have need that energy and everything.
You have to provide it the
That's true. So we're speaking about working out, like being in the gym, and it's so important for all of these. And then you spoke about how nutrition is also equally important. I want to bring your attention to one of these things that I've personally looked at or experienced, and it's also about the social media trends or social media influence, or these new technologies or new supplements or lots of other things that come under the name of supporting your nutrition or health. So one of the few examples that I like to highlight that I see very commonly in this whole journey of fitness, especially if we are going down. Now, we spoke about 30s, 40s, and those genders, but when we talk about 20s to 30s, or then the Gen Zs or anything, so there's a wellness movement that's happening around the world.
Yes.
And when we talk about wellness, we also speak about how a lot of doctors are promoting creatine, or there's NAD plus that's coming. Then there's like L-Carnitine, or all of these kind of supplements that help you work out even better, or have better sleep, or it changes your DNA, or there's so many things that's around it, or it helps you reduce the brain fog. As a person, like a person who's not educated in this, who's looking up a reel on social media about, okay, this is going to kind of take down your brain fog, just go and order. Between go and order and looking at that reel, what are the things that are very important for anybody to look at? Because I don't think so you should look at any supplement apart from, like, if you've not done your blood work or whatever. So you being in this industry for like decades, I want to know that what exactly is it, and how to kind of navigate from these trends, which might also be good, but there's a way of doing it.
I think supplements are some of the most misunderstood by people, because everyone fails to understand that it's actually stating, there's no, the name supplement by itself says that I am supplementary to something.
Correct.
So supplements, it's like, I've explained this in my book as well, where I say that, remember when we used to write the exam,
Correct.
you would get the main answer sheet.
Yeah.
You will not go and ask for the supplementary sheet unless until the primary answer book is over, or you've written in that. You don't start off with the supplementary sheets, extra paper. So this is a mistake that everyone makes, that where, oh, I'm feeling sluggish, or I'm feeling like I'm not able to sleep, or I have brain fog, then let me reach out the supplement. Unfortunately, we're also bombarded with ads for that everywhere. So it just seems like, oh, I have to pop a pill. Again, coming back to the magic pill, we're constantly on the lookout for a magic pill for something or the other. So it just seems very easy. However, all of the supplements are based on the fact that you will do the foundations first. So supplements are going to sit, it's like a coat of paint on a wall. It's not the brick.
Correct.
It's the paint. So you have to have the bricks in place first. Only then you can paint it with something. So it's only going to make the wall look attractive or better, but it's not going to, you can't build a wall from just paint, right? That is something that everyone fails to understand. And you mentioned that doctors are recommending creatine. I would be happy if they were doing that.
Really?
Yeah, because I would be happy if they are recommending creatine. Unfortunately, the problem is that they're not recommending creatine, but they are recommending the L-carnitines and stuff. Because that is what is pushed through the pharma and the sports supplement lobbies and everything. So if you ask me, what supplements do I take, or what I would recommend to people? I would say first get your blood work done.
Correct.
Okay. Then once you've gotten the blood work done, there's some deficiency. So even if, say, your hemoglobin is 11, you don't straight away have to start taking a supplement for that. You can just fix your diet. Look at, are you even eating any iron-rich foods in the first place?
That's true.
So start with the diet first. Deficiencies like B12 or D3. Those are very difficult to meet through your diet, and those deficiencies are also very common because of the kind of diet and environment that we live in. So those two, I would say, like, if you have a deficiency, after getting a blood test done. Don't be randomly popping D3 supplements. It's good to have karke, because it can also become toxic for you. Okay, so B12 and D3, if you have a deficiency, for sure, take a supplement, but get a prescription for it.
Got it.
Don't randomly experiment, or just because it's been advertised as the best B12, you could also be getting something which is 1/10 of that non-advertised B12 and not having to spend so much money on that. So iron, B12, D3, legit. Calcium also, depending on what your age is and what are the other comorbidities that you have. So those are like very good stuff to have. Of course, protein also as a supplement, because protein supplements that you take. So be it your whey or plant protein or yeast protein or
Correct.
rice protein, blends,
Yeah.
everything that you have. So all of those again are a convenience. They are not a mandatory thing.
Correct.
So right now we are in a scenario where we are, as a country, our daily protein intake is barely 0.6 to 0.8 grams per
That's
kg
less,
body. That's
yeah.
on a good day.
Yeah.
And we need like 1 to 1.2 gram
Yeah.
per kg body weight for a normal sedentary lifestyle. Now, this definition of sedentary is also very funny, because when we say sedentary, we assume that you are going to be someone who is, say, moderately active, who walks at least 6 to 8,000 steps a day. In my clinic, I see that a layperson's definition of sedentary is 2,000 steps a day.
Oh, that's less.
Like no movement at
Yeah.
all. I just get up, I log in, I'm on the couch, I walk to my kitchen, have a meal, come back,
Yeah.
sit on the couch, not even 2,000 steps. So this is something that needs addressing, when you are looking at your lifestyle per se as well. But coming back to the protein supplement, so protein supplement is again a convenience, which a lot of us, like you and I, are going to opt for because
Correct.
we don't have the time, and it's not a bad thing to take a protein supplement. However, there are other supplements like your L-Carnitine,
Yeah.
for example, that you mentioned. L-Carnitine is purported to be a fat burner, okay? And it's been around since the past 10 years.
Yeah.
If L-Carnitine was so effective, would we even have needed a GLP-1 or an Ozempic or Mounjaro?
That's
Right?
so true. Yeah.
So who are we trying to fool here?
Yeah.
That's an absolutely rubbish supplement. Another very popular supplement right now is those apple cider vinegar in all formats.
That's true.
Red, black, blue, pill, capsule,
Yeah, just pop
nasal
it.
sprays,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Apple cider vinegar everywhere is the magic pill,
Yeah.
apparently, which it isn't.
Which will make your stomach flat.
Yeah, bloating gone, my hair
everything.
loss is
Yeah.
going to stop, my sugars are going to be steady, I'm going to drop weight, I'm going to be like a new person tomorrow. No such thing happens. Okay,
That's true.
it's a big scam.
Yeah.
One of the biggest scams right now is that apple cider
Yeah.
vinegar stuff. And after that, what do you have? You also have those collagen supplements.
Yeah.
Okay,
Glutathione and collagen.
glutathione though is like a waste. So
Yeah.
a lot of people take glutathione because in hopes that it's going
Yeah.
to help their skin.
Yeah.
Now glutathione action is dependent on your protein sufficiency.
That's true.
So if you're someone who's barely eating only say roti sabzi,
Then it's
no
like-
protein,
yeah.
and then popping glutathione and hoping to have a glowing skin, sorry. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Someone who's not hydrating at all and then is taking glutathione supplements, all L-arginine to feel more powerful and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
like a pump in the gym. Check your diet first.
Yeah.
If you're eating right, you're not going to need an L-arginine.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caffeine.
Yeah.
Curcumin, like the
Yeah,
turmeric
yeah.
ones also. All of these are all ergogenic supplements.
Yeah.
Like say your curcumin or curcumin is like an anti-inflammatory. Again, no evidence
Yeah.
to take it. In
Yeah.
fact, there is evidence of toxicity.
That's
so no one needs a kind of high
Yeah.
potency curcumin that is available in the
Correct.
supplements. It is not going to go and douse the inflammatory fire. No such thing happens. So it's again a big scam.
Yeah.
And even if you are speaking of which supplement, other supplement I said, curcumin, caffeine, yeah. And even if you look at caffeine, for
Yeah.
example. So caffeine as a supplement, again, is an ergogenic. So you can take caffeine before your workout. So you're taking like a black coffee, like we're taking, or you can even take a caffeine capsule if you don't like drinking black coffee. But I would still say that look at your sleep first. Because me sleeping for 4 hours after a Netflix binge and then trying to hit the gym after taking a caffeine and
Yeah.
then feeling energetic, that is a
bad.
sure shot way of getting injured.
Yeah.
That's not a smart thing to do at all. So that's something that one needs to be very wary about.
Correct.
And one more popular one is collagen. Such a waste of time and money. Collagen as well. So collagen is just like another protein which your body is going to digest as a protein.
Yeah.
And it is made like we pay more money for marine collagen. Marine collagen is made from fish shells and
Yeah,
their
yeah,
bones,
yeah.
which we don't normally
Correct.
eat.
Yeah.
So it's going to make you poop,
Yeah.
soft poop
Yeah.
more. And it's going to just be, if at all, some of
Yeah.
it is digested, it's going to be digested as just another protein.
It takes time. I mean, like, You just can't pop and decide for yourself. You need somebody like
Yeah,
you.
and again, I am always saying, like, first look at the evidence. Do we really have evidence for all of this? Even probiotic supplements, for that matter. So
There's so much, like I can imagine a person filled with, like these supplements around.
but there are, and there are like celebrities and people doing like, what's in my supplement bag?
Yeah.
Where they open like a vanity case,
Yeah.
midlife supplements and everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, they are all of these people. They are just preying on your insecurities and your fears and weaknesses. So it's like, if I was feeling great about myself, what would you want to sell to me then, right? You can't sell me anything. So to be able to sell me any product, you have to make me feel miserable.
Yeah.
So first I have to tell you that, oh, you're not sleeping well. That is the root cause of all of your life's problems.
Exactly.
Not the fact that you've not saved money.
That's
so
true.
It just seems like a strange world where everyone's trying to fix with some supplement or the other. But yeah, most of them you don't need.
So moving on to, I was just thinking that how everything is so correlated. And if I was a person, let's say in my 30s or whatever, 20s, and if I go to, you for consultation, and I'm perfectly fit, fine, but I do want to, make my life better. We spoke about, workouts and all of that. So that's done. But when it comes to a balance of sleep and nutrition, what is that daily thing that naturally, simply I need to do? We'll delve into sleep more because I have a lot of questions about sleep, because that's an incredible topic that we are going to talk about. But as a person, let's say if your Arrow is standing, he's perfectly fine. But he wants to better his life, or he wants to sort of have a routine. Routine is also very sexy. You need to have routine. So diet and sleep, what do I have to do basically?
So first, I always say this, like, first see whether all of your meals, so let's say your first top 3 meals, okay?
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. First check if they have any protein first. Okay, and when I say check if they have any protein, I don't mean the Vada Pav kinds. Okay, I'm saying like the real kinds, where it's at least like, the
Proper
aim should be
protein.
that you get like 20 to 25 grams of protein from every meal. But even if you are not getting like 25 grams, even the existence, I right now, my bar is so low that I'll even take the existence of a dal in a roti sabzi ka dabba, because that's what I'm seeing. People take only roti sabzi
Correct.
in their dabba. I'm like, protein kitara hai? Where is the protein?
Yeah.
And then you are expecting like, to get like shiny hair from a new shampoo.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Correct.
Right. So first check if you have protein in place first, and then also look at the fiber that you have. So you can add in vegetables, you can add in the pulses, you can add in, say, dals and everything. Because a surprising thing that has happened is that, and I was like, when I saw those numbers first, I was very shocked myself, that constipation is on the rise in Gen Alpha and 20-year-olds, Gen Z.
Ooh. Okay.
It has no business being on the rise in that young an age group. Normally we think of constipation as something which is going to happen to older people, right?
How is that possible?
That's because people are not eating. So when you're not eating, because see, this generation, like this age group that you spoke about, say your 15, 16 to 25, 30-year-olds, they are also very conscious right now of their body size.
Exactly.
And body image, right? So now when you're conscious of your body size, you're going to try and keep it low, and you're going to try and say not eat enough. What happens out of not eating enough is you probably will be able to maintain your body weight. You will probably still fit into the jeans that you bought last year. But as a result of it, if you're getting constipation, then in the long run, your body is not going to be able to like absorb anything.
Yeah.
And that's going to impact your sleep, your energy levels, everything. Because people are not eating. They're not eating. How many people are eating their dals? Yeah.
I don't know.
At best, office mein jo dabba jata hai, most people are not even taking the dabbas. But if they're eating from the office canteen, they are going to pick the roti or the rice first. The dal is watery, so may not take it. Some sabzi or pick aloo, no protein, right? So start with the protein, look at the fiber, and then look at your water intake.
Correct.
Carbs can come later. Fat is omnipresent anyway. Even if you are, so even if I am someone who's going to eat a zero oil supposedly meal,
yeah.
okay, but if I'm hitting my protein goals, I am going to get enough fat from it. I
Yeah.
barely need like 5 teaspoons over that. I don't need anything more than that, okay? Because you inherently have fat in your paneer, you have fat in your, say, dahi, you have fat in your chicken and eggs and everything. So fat you don't need to worry about of not getting enough of.
Yeah.
But it's the protein, fiber and carbs that you need to look at.
That's very simplified actually, like to look at. Before getting into sleep, I wanted to kind of highlight one trend that I've looked at is like extra virgin olive oil shot with lemon.
It's going to make you poop instantly. And then whatever you're trying to absorb after that is going to go out.
Is it good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
Why would you take it?
Because I've seen a lot of celebrities promoting it, and that, what is his name? The person who wants to reverse his age.
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
Listen, Brian
vouching
Johnson's
about it.
everything, whatever claims he said, everything have been refuted and reversed. So
that is one of the things. So you know now. Sleep. And I want to also talk about women's health in this, very important topics. We also spoke about it in our previous call. Sleep, if you don't get enough, now there was this thing in the past that you need to wake up at 4 a.m., you need to wake up at 5, no matter when you've slept, because that's how discipline is, or that's how, you should be. The more earlier you wake up, it's the more fresher, and you'll start a day with a good motivation. Otherwise you'll be sluggish and all. So now it's like you need to complete your 8 hours proper sleep and all of that. 2-3 things I'd like to highlight in that. One, the fact about melatonin in it, and how this hormone was being promoted heavily and marketed in such a way, and now research and studies say that it's a risk to your heart, right? So that's one of the things. So now it's moved to magnesium. When you talk about women's health, sleep, that's very correlated. Hormonal changes, if you're stressing too much in the night, if you're not having good sleep, or menstrual, cycles are getting affected. There's prolactin levels that you talk about. Nobody talks about prolactin, or I don't think so anybody takes up blood work for prolactin. But that is something that affects the hormones. So I want you to elaborate on that, because your work has been in that space also. You have a lot of cases where hormone change or imbalance has been the root cause for acne, for irritation, for inflammation, for weight gain, instant weight loss that doesn't look nice, sleep patterns getting ruined, mental health being affected by that. So many things that are there. So I want you to kind of discuss in detail about that, because as I think the number one thing in nutrition is, solving these underlying problems that might come.
So all of these problems that you listed right now, the root cause is inflammation.
Yeah.
Okay. So most women, especially women above 30, will now find that they struggle to sleep, or their mood keeps on shifting, and they are not able to cope emotionally, or they will find that, the anxiety levels are through the roof, or they stay up at night worrying about kal maid nahi aayi to. Can be something as simple as that. Okay.
Exactly.
It can also be something bigger, but yes, so this is happening. The most anti-inflammatory thing that you can do after, of course, eating a good diet is walking. Okay, so a diet which has sufficient protein, fiber, and water and whole grains is the most anti-inflammatory thing, number one. Second best is walking or movement. Okay, now all of these issues are happening more and more of late is because increasingly we are seeing a steady decline in our everyday movement. People are barely moving.
I didn't know that movement and inflammation was directly related.
I
didn't know about that.
So, for example, a lot of people, right now the trend has dropped a little, but till last year everyone was wearing the CGM patches. Okay, everyone.
That glucose wala.
Yeah. So the continuous glucose monitors that you have. So right now the trend has gone down a little, but a CGM device, in that, what does it tell you? So your sugars have gone up, then it tells you on your watch or whatever that you need to walk for 20 minutes. Why? Because when you're walking, it's going to help you to bring your blood sugar levels down.
Correct.
What it's also doing is, like, because elevated blood sugar levels are not good for you, because it can, those extra glucose molecules can go and attach to your nerve endings and to your arteries and everything, and then it is going to increase your HbA1c. So overall, that's like an increase in inflammation that you are seeing.
That's true.
Okay. Other two markers are your CRP and ESR. These are blood tests which you can do. And right now you will also find that a large population currently has elevated CRP as well as ESR markers. Okay. A lot of it is due to...
What is the CRP? Like?
C-reactive protein and ESR, that is your erythrocyte sedimentation rate.
Okay.
So your C-reactive protein is an inflammatory marker. ESR is also, along with inflammation, is going to tell you how well or not well your gut is doing. Okay, whether it's able to absorb, whether it's able to function properly or not. Okay, so invariably when we are unwell, you will find that these levels go up. But now in a large population, we are finding that most people come to our clinic as well. People would have come to us saying, like, my HbA1c is 6 and I want to lower that, but we see a bigger risk coming from the CRP and ESR being high. Okay, those inflammatory markers being high over a span of time are going to be damaging to your cardiac health, to your heart health. Okay, so walking is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, and it's also something which is going to help you to bring the inflammation down. It's also going to improve your mental health. It's going to manage your blood sugars. It's going to improve your digestion.
Wow.
And the other thing that it's going to do is it's also going to make you physically tired to be able to sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the biggest reasons right now that our whole generation is not able to fall asleep is because we are just not tired enough.
Yeah.
So mentally, yes. But unfortunately, mental fatigue or mental tiredness makes you more wired.
More awake, I feel.
So you're going to have like tickers going in your head and like to-do lists and oh, he said this and I said this and this is the email that I'll send kind of stuff.
Correct.
When you actually should be shutting down. And that is where the melatonin pathways getting, say, triggered.
Correct.
Like, just have a cup of milk at night if you can. Have a little paneer. So you get some tryptophan from that and then you can, just go to sleep. So one of the big reasons why there used to be a habit of, having a cup of milk at night before sleeping is it helps you to sleep better. Even
Dark chocolate works?
Dark chocolate also works the same way. So hence the hot cocoa.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hot chocolate. Can I have hot chocolate?
Can I have a hot chocolate and then it will make me sleep, because dark chocolate also has magnesium in it.
Yeah.
So it works both ways. So you can now have a hot cocoa.
Approved by Amita ji.
Yes. So you can have that. Of course, go easy on the sugar.
Exactly.
Use
Otherwise
some
we're jumping around.
But so that's just one of the reasons. The other being hormonal, especially in women, because we started off saying that we want to speak of women. Now, what happens when you have estrogen suddenly saying that, you know what, I think I'm done. I'm going to take a VRS.
Correct.
Okay, now your estrogen taking VRS is you now going through a transition called perimenopause.
Correct.
So menopause is just one day.
Yeah.
But is the perimenopause and postmenopause, which is 10 years here and 10 years there. So menopause is a one-day event. Like if it's been 1 year since I had my last period, okay, today I achieved menopause. Now what? What is more important is what you did before and whether you prepared for the after or not.
Yeah.
And in women, what happens is with estrogen decline, you start seeing a lot of these issues cropping up, like gaining weight. You start seeing that the LDL cholesterol is going to go up, HbA1c increases. You also find that they are not going to be able to sleep properly. The mental health starts varying, mood regulation becomes disturbed, brain fog occurs significantly.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of these things start happening to women as they go through the perimenopausal transition. And how can you fix that? is first by fixing your nutrition, and then you can take supplements like, say, your magnesium,
Correct,
or
yeah.
say even if you have brain fog, then we are seeing good evidence for creatine as well. So you can take it, but provided you again done the foundations
Correct,
first.
yeah.
सीधा जाके creatine पे jump नहीं करने
हाँ.
का.
Understood. And you know, like we spoke about menopause, but women are facing these issues in their, you know, like 30s or 20s itself.
That's just poor nutrition.
So that's something also that
Yeah, I mean, if a 20-year-old is not able to sleep, then it could just be the screen, it could be improper
Yeah.
nutrition, it could be lack of exercise, it could be the fact that, you know, I have not completed my assignment and hence
Correct.
now I'm shitting bricks,
Yeah,
not able to,
yeah.
you know, sleep at night. But 20-somethings should not need any supplement to fall asleep.
Now we've delved into everything that was around, you know, like a lifestyle, balance, nutrition. If you truly want to enjoy life, let's say I also want to sort of elaborate on things where they say that you should have wine for, like, wine is good, or then there are these basically I don't drink, but I'm just kind of I'm a podcaster, so I'm just asking people the right kind of questions on your behalf. Now there's a reel where you talk about that, okay, 1 ml or 5 ml of alcohol also ruins your
Completely.
XYZ.
Alcohol is toxic.
So then what exactly is it? Like, because there used to be a lot of patients, heart patients, who used to drink wine. So
it's a very interesting marketing story.
that's why, like, I was very interested in
When
this.
they started, you know, everywhere saying that, oh, there's research that, you know, red wine is good for your heart health, that people in the Mediterranean region, they have a glass of wine every day. Look at how long they are, you know, living. This entire study was funded by the Wineries Board.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Okay, because
Yeah.
back then, I think it was in the 1970s, is when the entire French wine industry was dying. People were not drinking wine, making wine was super expensive, so
Yeah.
they had to find a way of making it, say, giving it enough attention on making it cool again. And at that point in time, because that was also the time where a lot of yoga and power yoga and everything was coming up,
Yeah.
and you had a lot of those products like Slim Fast and everything in the US. So essentially there was a big push towards health, where that was also the time where people had started recommending eating bacon every day to get your protein.
I have heard that, yeah.
So that was the era.
Correct.
And there comes some very amazing marketing genius who says that, you know, to make wine cool again, we have to give it a health twist. So they funded a study and said that these people had, you know, they drank wine every day, 1 glass of wine, and they had better heart outcomes. But what they omitted was that those people, they were also eating healthy. They were not like, you know, ordering
They are
biryani by
running,
the
they're
bucket.
walking, they're doing
yeah,
their own
they're
stuff.
doing
Yeah.
their own walk, they're eating well, they're eating like fresh food, they're eating
Correct.
lean protein.
Yeah.
They are not overeating. You know, they are not loading up on carbs like there's no tomorrow.
Correct.
And those people eating that, and the fun fact here is that not even a single study was able to replicate what the like values that they got.
Wow.
But that
insane.
becomes the most touted, say, study
Marketing thing.
in history.
Yeah.
So that's like genius marketing, but zero health science in it. Okay. And the other thing that happened is, so they also found that, okay, if red wine is good, it isn't. Okay. It's toxic. A better cardiac supporting thing that you can do for yourself is eat fiber. Because that fiber is truly going to make your heart healthier. It's going to hold on to the extra LDL cholesterol that you have, and is literally going to throw it out of your system.
Correct.
Then
Yeah.
nothing can be more cardioprotective than
that.
reducing your LDL cholesterol. Red wine does no such thing. Okay, it just contains one compound called resveratrol.
That's
so they also started making supplements of it, which is from grapes. But funnily, you find more, say, carotenoids and more antioxidants in berries.
Yeah.
Like your boro.
Correct.
Like, you know, beer.
Yeah.
And like your, say, avla and everything contains
All the good
more
things, yeah.
than the grapes. So.
Rounding off, 2 very deep questions. What is your take on our Indian nutrition? Apli ji thali aste. त्याच्यामध्ये what my mom always like what she's taught me about the थाळी की घरी जेव्हा आपण एक ताट कोणी येणार असेल तेव्हा माझ्या घरी तरी जसं असतं की you keep salt, you keep lemon at the center because this is your like you don't eat from your left hand, right? So तुमचे सगळे salads आणि ते सगळे your plate needs to look like a rainbow. त्याच्यामध्ये your salads, all of those things, काकडी, गाजर, जे काय fresh produce आहे ते ठेवा. या साईडला थोडंसं पालेभाजी ठेवा. मग थोडंसं प्रोटीन ठेवा. त्याच्यामध्ये काही असू शकतं. हे आपलं टिपिकल आणि आधीच्या ह्याच्यात आपली ज्वारीची भाकरी वगैरे असायची मध्ये डाळ तूप टाकून. तर what is your take on our beautiful Indian nutrition that was there?
So our standard Indian thali, the kinds you mentioned, is fantastic, but it needs a little bit of an update now. So what was working for my aji or for my grandfather? My grandfather used to be riding around on a bicycle for like 6-7 hours in a day.
Yeah.
For any work he would be doing that. We had a well in the house. Okay, now we do this action in the gym.
Bicycle.
Yeah, but we had a well in the house. They were lifting, like there was a mill, or even if they were using the community mill, they would go and get that flour. Like there are farmers carries.
Correct.
Now we go to the gym to do farmers carries, right?
Yeah.
So they used to be carrying like 10 kg at a time and everything. That was their lifestyle. So currently, am I doing that? I'm not, right? I am mostly sedentary. I need reminders on my watch to stand even.
Yeah.
Forget walking.
Correct.
My Apple Watch tells me, yeah,
stand up now.
You stood up for 8 hours. You're such a brave girl. I'm like, dude.
That's basic necessity of life.
Yeah, like when you start getting applauded for standing.
Yeah.
But that's where we have come, because that's how sedentary people have become. So that needs an update. And I have a bit of a problem with everyone who says the Indian thali is great without actually eating a true Indian thali. Most people, you will find that they say no, Indian khana is so good, and then have only one small part of it.
That's not,
So the thali you mentioned, it had a dal, it had a usar, like a sprouts, it has vegetables, it has two kinds of vegetables, it has two kinds of koshimir, or at least one kind of, like, a salad. And with that is going to have a millet or, on a rotation.
Correct.
That's what's going to happen. What are we eating today in the guise of a standard Indian meal? We are eating only roti sabzi.
Yeah.
So we are very, say, joyously chopping off 70% of what used to be the Indian thali.
True.
And are believing or are in denial, that it is complete. You are not eating the thali the way it's meant to be.
Correct.
So even if you do eat like that, fantastic. Like you're eating one dal, you're eating one sprout, and with that you're eating 2 katoris of vegetable, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But just don't probably take, like, say, one roti as well as a rice, because now you're not moving like a Raji used to.
Exactly. So you need to sort of
You need to strike a balance.
Yeah.
Indian food is fantastic.
Before the rapid fire, rounding off the whole thing, what I imagine, or like what I get a sense of this whole podcast is there's so much of clutter around us.
Yeah.
Even for you, like you're dealing with everyday clutter about, the research shows this, but now it shows this. What is the definition of true nutrition so far, according to you?
Something which is sustainable and simple. True nutrition is not complicated at all. So I always give this example that, look at me. I've been eating 2 eggs and 1 toast, commercial bread, or wheat toast, every single day for the past 20 years of my life.
Fantastic, yeah.
That's true nutrition. It's simplified. It's easy to do. It's something that I can follow for long. And it's balanced.
Yeah.
It's realistic. So true nutrition is not something that you have to go out of your way and follow, and which you do only for, say, a month or 2. It is for life.
That's amazing. The takeaway that I got from the entire conversation that we've had is, if you really want to get yourself into nutrition, which is a very simple word. It's about taking care of your body inside out. That's the simple meaning of nutrition, and that's what I've got about in your book also. It's just so simple that you just have to do the daily boring things.
Yes.
For your
every
life.
day.
Do the daily boring things. Just eat the daily boring things for your body.
Yeah.
That are going to help it live the way it has to.
Yeah.
It's meant to. And that's what the definition is. Like, if you can discipline yourself to do the boring, I think there are a lot of exciting things that you can enjoy much later in life.
Yeah. Because
that's what I've learned from you today.
At least 80% of the time, keep it boring so that 20% can become exciting.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're going to come back trying to do those 20% also with some illness.
Exactly. And you quoted Virat Kohli. One of his interviews that I was going on, he and a few celebrities, they said that we eat the same kind of food.
Absolutely.
Every single day. Same kind of food, and they make it exciting for them. Like, it's okay, there's food, and the same kind of food. So I think if we stop looking at putting some Szechuan sauce, stop looking at putting some noodles every day, some mayonnaise in it every day, and just enjoy the simple food that is given to us and be grateful for it, I think half of our problems will be solved.
Absolutely.
And that's something which is very simple that I've learned from you, and I'm going to keep it with me. Now, I'm going to get into the rapid fire with you. The biggest wellness scam right now.
Apple cider vinegar.
Most blindly copied celebrity trend.
Alkaline water.
Yeah, the black water.
Black water.
Most overrated healthy product.
All detox stuff.
Anything
that says detox.
Biggest problem with modern nutrition culture.
Too much information, too little knowledge.
Yeah. One health trend that will disappear in the next 5 years.
Random casual use of GLP-1 drugs.
One word. What does healthy mean to you?
Sustainable.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Amita ji, for your time. Any feedback for us? How did you think? What did you think about this?
Oh, I had fun. I love the entire range of questions that we discussed, and I also love the fact that you yourself are so aware about nutrition and you're putting in the work, so that makes it more fun to talk to.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And do tune into this podcast, and we are going to drop a link for the book also, because that's something that is going to give you a lot of insight about what exactly nutrition means. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.